Hey, what's up, guys? Jordan Schumacher here from Attention Arbitrage, and today we're going to talk about how to make $10,000 per week in 4 days with Facebook ads, the 3 Facebook ad scaling mistakes that are holding you back. Look, I'm not trying to waste my time or your time, so let's just, hop right into it. Let's not, play games and ask people to type in numbers and push buttons and stuff. Let's just jump right into it. So, the title of this comes from these results. So today you can see about $1,200 in sales. First of all, just let's get this out of the way. A little bit of backstory about this site. So this website is called Skyline Workshop. It's actually owned by my business partner, Timothy. Very long story short, he makes these products in-house, primarily beer cap maps. You can look them up if you're curious as to what those are, but they're very hot. They sell very well. And he was selling primarily just on Amazon and Etsy and eBay. I told him, look, you're leaving money on the table here. I don't have a ton of time. I had clients at the time. This was back in the summer in July, I believe. I just said, look, let me throw up a website for you. And just let me throw up some basic AdWords and then Facebook retargeting, and then it'll just kind of run on autopilot. And so basically we took his website from, $0 per month to, between $300 and $800 per month on autopilot. It took me maybe 5 hours or so to set it up. So it's not great by any means, but not a bad return on investment. Anyways, it was pretty much just hovering right around there, $300 per month, $800 per month. Let me show you real quick here. So let's see, in like April through June, 3 months, $162. So basically making no sales. I suppose these were just people who randomly decided to see his products on Amazon and then searched for him manually on Google. In July, I think, is when I started running some basic paid traffic. Must have been the second part of July, but threw up some AdWords and Facebook retargeting, so you can see we're getting a little more sales. And then in August, definitely some more sales there. And then in September, more sales. In October, if I remember right, was a little bit of a down month. Yeah, but again, not a bad return on time invested when you consider it took me about 5 hours to just set up some basic AdWords to bring people to the site and then just set up retargeting, and it just worked on autopilot. But anyways, I ended up getting some more bandwidth on my plate, and I knew that we were leaving money on the table here. And so I flew out to Tim's house a few weeks ago, and I said, look, we're leaving money on the table. How about we take this seriously, we scale our paid traffic seriously? And so we worked out a deal, and basically I took over the site and started running some paid traffic to it very seriously on November 23rd is the day that I turned it on. And so let's just take a look at the previous 3 weeks. So October 30th through November 19th, and in the previous 3 weeks, this is again still kind of on autopilot. So 1230 divided by 3, you're looking at about $410 per week. Now I turned on I really started scaling up the paid traffic on November 23rd. And so 1, 2, 3. So in 4 days, let's take a look at what we made the week of November 27th. $10,603, and that is from, I've already got these dates set here. So November 27th through December 3rd, that's from $2,500, just under $2,500 in ad spend. So that's a fairly solid return on investment, and you can kind of definitely see you can see where I started scaling up. Actually, this is November 23rd. You can see it's down. That's because Facebook mass disapproved a lot of our ads due to a glitch. I had to reach out to our rep, and we got that resolved. But then we started scaling pretty quickly from there. And you can see it's not a complicated system that we use. We have some basic cart abandonment retargeting, basic website viewers retargeting, and then just our lookalike audiences targeting. And actually, this is some more useful reporting. But enough of that. Let's get right back into kind of this presentation. That was just, this is legit. This is real. This stuff works and it'll work for you. And it's not that difficult. So, real quick about me, my name is Jordan Schumacher. I'm your host here. You can see on the left, this is a picture. This is a professional picture of me to make me look authoritative. And then on the right here is a picture of me scuba diving in the Dominican Republic, because I guess I thought that was relevant. The Dominican's on my mind. I'm actually going there next week to get married to my fiance. So wish me luck. So who is this webinar for? This webinar, it's not even really a webinar, really. This training is for existing business owners, any and all existing business owners who want to take their business to the next level with profitable Facebook ads. Maybe you have a store up and running. Maybe you sell an info product. Maybe you're a consulting service. It doesn't really matter. If you're trying to take your business to the next level, the only way to do that is with paid traffic. And there's no better platform out there right now than Facebook ads. This training is for you. You can apply it to your business. This training is for new entrepreneurs. If you're a new entrepreneur, have a startup, trying to take your business to the next level, trying to get it on its feet, and maybe you've heard about how profitable Facebook ads can be, but you just aren't really sure where to start. You don't want to lose a ton of money trying to learn, figure it out. You just want a system, a blueprint that you can follow to profitably scale your ads and make money. This training is for you. You're going to be able to apply this training right away. And maybe you're just a complete beginner. Maybe you have a 9-to-5 job. Maybe you're just starting up a business or a consultancy as a side hustle. And you know that paid traffic and e-commerce is the quickest way to quit your job. Hint, it is. But there's so much information out there. There's so many people, selling courses and training and all of this nonsense that you just feel overwhelmed and don't even know where to begin. I was right in your shoes in the exact same place, about a year and a half ago. I know how you feel. This training is for you. You're going to want to pay extra attention, pull out a pen and paper right now and take notes, because when you walk away from this training, you're going to have everything you need to start executing in your business today. This isn't fluff. This isn't a pitch fest. This is training that you can apply. So what are you going to learn on this training? Well, first of all, we're going to go over briefly the number one business opportunity for online entrepreneurs in 2017 and beyond for the foreseeable future. This train has not left the station yet, so you need to get on while you still can. I would say that this opportunity is about as profitable as AdSense used to be back in the day, when you can basically just print money. I haven't seen anything this profitable in a while. It's super exciting. I'm all in on it, and you should be too. You're also going to learn the 3 mistakes holding you back from Facebook ad success. And here's a hint. It has nothing to do with your ad copy or your image optimization or your website conversion rate optimization or some crazy funnel or email autoresponder sequence. None of that really, at the end of the day, matters. I mean, sure, it all adds incremental benefits here and there, but if you're familiar at all with the Pareto principle, 80-20, which is that 20% of your actions make up 80% of your results, none of those things fall into that 20% that has the 80% impact. What you're going to learn is the 3 mistakes that are holding you back. You're going to be able to fix those mistakes, and you're going to see a massive improvement in your Facebook ad campaigns. And you're going to learn how to leverage your Facebook ad success beyond dropshipping and e-commerce. Spoiler alert, the number one business opportunity for online entrepreneurs is, in fact, dropshipping and e-commerce. But, you're going to learn how to leverage your Facebook ad success and the skills that you learned beyond that, so that you can build an online empire. You'll be profitable, forever. Spoiler alert again. If you can understand and use paid traffic, you're never going to be broke. All right, so you guys ready to jump in? I'm assuming you are. Let's do it. So the number one opportunity online today. A friend of mine was at a conference hosted in Canada. I want to say Toronto. The name escapes me right now. But he was at a conference there, and Neil Patel was a keynote speaker. And after the conference, he came up to Neil and he said, Neil, where do you see the greatest white space in online marketing today? And Neil said, without hesitation whatsoever, he said, look, SEO is too competitive. If you're trying to if you're trying to compete with SEO in any sort of contested or profitable niche, it's just too competitive for a beginner to rank. He said that he saw paid traffic as the number one opportunity online today. And I couldn't agree more. And so for our purposes, paid traffic is the act of purchasing advertisements and basically arbitraging attention. Get it? The name, attention arbitrage. So basically what you are doing is you are buying traffic for less than it is worth to your business. So let's say if on average you make $2.50 per click, which is about what Skyline Workshops, the store I was just showing you, that's about what we average. Let's double check that in case you're calling bullshit. So $12.71. So today we've sold, $1,271 off of 496 visitors. Yeah, $2.56 per visitor on average we earned, which means if a visit to our website is worth $2.56, then as long as we can buy clicks to our website, assuming that the traffic is targeted and relevant traffic, assuming we can buy clicks to our website for less than that, we're going to turn a profit on our ad spend. And that's what paid traffic is all about. It's basically investing. It's about buying something for less than it's worth to your business. And there's infinite ways that you can get started in paid traffic, whether it's through affiliate offers or working as a consultant. But one of the easiest and most profitable ways, and the best way to start, even if you're a complete beginner, is to use paid traffic to power your drop shipping and your e-com store. And so all that means is you find a supplier. There are many suppliers out there that serve as drop shippers, and we get into this in a much more detail in Attention Arbitrage University, one of our programs. But all you do is you set up a website, an online store. It can be Shopify, can be WordPress, doesn't matter. We recommend Shopify, but it doesn't matter. You set up a store. You list products on your store that you source from drop shippers. You never have to handle inventory. You can if you want, but you never have to. And to start out with, it's not recommended that you do. You just list their products, and then you run ads for those products on your website to Facebook. You can use AdWords if your product is being searched for. You can run ads on Pinterest. You can run ads on Instagram. And you're funneling all of this traffic to your website. People are purchasing the product from you. You then buy the product from the dropshipper at a cheaper price, and the dropshipper sends the product directly to them. And so basically, you don't have to handle the product at all. You just buy traffic for less than it's worth, and you make money. And so you can see how exciting this is, because once you get that system dialed in, once you have a system in place, you're literally printing money. And I know that sounds scammy. I know it sounds too good to be true. It's not at all. Like, this is hard work, and it does take time and testing, and it can be frustrating. But this is exciting. There's no better opportunity online than drop shipping and paid traffic right now. All right, so story time. So last summer, or actually last fall, I was in New York City with my fiance, and I'd been in New York before, but I'm not from there. I'm not familiar with it. And anyways, we were shopping, and she wanted to go to some store, and I wanted to go to another store. I don't even remember which ones were which anymore, but we decided to go our separate ways, and we decided, to meet up in an hour or so and go from there. And unfortunately, I didn't realize it at the time, but my cell phone was at like 3%. And so about 15 minutes goes by, and my cell phone dies. And I didn't realize it, and I'm just kind of wandering around New York City. I really wasn't paying attention to where I was going because, generally, it doesn't matter where you are in any city, you never really have to worry about being lost, because all you need to do is just whip out your phone, and then you know exactly where you are, right? You have a GPS in your phone that tells you exactly where you are. So it doesn't matter, where you are or how confusing a city may be, you know that you have a device, a system that you can follow that will lead you exactly to where you need to go. Well, obviously, my phone died. I had no idea where it was. I had no idea how to contact my fiance or anyone else. It's New York, so the people there aren't the most friendly. And I had no idea what to do, really. I had no idea how to get in touch with her. I was a terrible fiance at the time, didn't have her number memorized. Fortunately, I found someone with a phone charger, and I was able to charge my phone, and we were able to meet up. It wasn't a big deal. But during that time when I was lost, I had no idea where I was going or what I was doing. all because I didn't have a system that worked that I could rely on. Which leads me into this, the story I picked for a reason, which leads me into the Facebook ad GPS system. And this system is going to be what you use to scale your campaigns to $10,000 a week and beyond. So what is the Facebook ad GPS system? GPS stands for Guaranteed Profitability Scaling System. And this system is a system that I developed over the last 18 months, spending over $400,000 per month on profitable ad spend for companies and businesses ranging in size from small, one-man solopreneur startups to large national Fortune 1000 brands that you'd recognize walking into your local mall. And I've tested this system in every niche imaginable. Info products, software as a service, travel, local service, lead gen, e-com, especially e-com. You name it, it's been tested there, and it works in every single one of them. The bottom line is this system will work for you. It just does. Like, if you follow this system, it's mathematically impossible for you to lose money at Facebook ads. And the reason for that is simple. This system addresses the 3 core Facebook ad mistakes that 99.9% of the entrepreneurs and marketers out there are making that I see. And most likely, if you're watching this webinar now, you're making these mistakes too, whether you realize it or not. And the 3 most common mistakes that I see that hold marketers back are: mistake number 1, having a solid understanding of the KPIs that really matter. Mistake number 2 is finding and testing into new audiences that convert without losing money and just taking stabs in the dark and going in circles and just, getting completely lost and messed up and not having a system to follow. That's what this Facebook ad GPS does. And then mistake number 3 is understanding how to profitably scale winners without killing your cost per click. So if you have any experience at all in Facebook ads, you know that if you start to scale your ads, more often than not, as you scale up your ads, all of a sudden your cost per clicks just go to shit and the campaign just blows up and you have no idea what happened, but all of a sudden you're losing money hand over fist and you freak out and you turn it off, and that's that, and you just kind of lick your wounds and move on with life. There's a reason for that, and we're going to get into the mistake that most people make and why that is. So, Facebook ad mistake number 1, which is properly understanding your KPIs. So the first thing that you need to understand is that Facebook advertising is an investment, right? The whole idea of Facebook advertising is that you spend $1 on Facebook ads. You put in $1 and you make $3 immediately right away as a return. It's like an ATM machine, except way better. It's an investment. Paid traffic is an investment. And so to be successful at paid traffic, you need to think about paid traffic as an investment. And so what better way to understand investing than to take a page out of the number 1 investor in the world's playbook, Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett has 2 rules for successful investing. Warren Buffett's rule number 1 is to not lose money. And his second rule is to never forget rule number 1. Okay, so the most important part of being a successful investor is not to lose money. Now, that sounds just so simple and obvious, it's dumb, right? But this is something that I see so many people forgetting, is that, look, you need to protect your downside. You need to not lose money. And every time you lose $1, that's got to be painful. It's so easy to forget, oh yeah, well, we can scale this to $1,000 a day and that's no big deal. But when you're testing, you need to understand that the goal of testing is not to lose money. It's to find a winner. And so if you don't know your KPIs, you can never know whether or not you're profitable. And so in order to ensure that you are profitably investing your money, to ensure that you're not losing money with your ads, you need to understand your KPIs, and not just your KPIs, but you need to understand the right KPIs. And so that's why this is so important. And that's why this GPS system breaks down the KPIs in an easy to understand way so that you know without a doubt that when you go to scale your ads, you're going to be profitable. It's just a mathematical formula. And so this is the Facebook ads GPS system KPIs. And these are really the only KPIs that I look at when I'm running paid traffic. And so you can see over here, these are sort of your leading indicators. You have CPC, cost per click, CTR, which is click-through rate, CPATC, which is cost per add to cart. You have your conversion percentage, which is the percentage of people who add to cart that go on to actually purchase your product. And then your CPP, which is your cost per purchase. And over here is sort of the bottom line metrics. These are sort of the key metrics that, at the end of the day, this is really all that matters. So you have AOV, which is your average order value. You have your product cost, which is, your all-in cost for the product. So if a product costs you from your drop shipper, $3 and it costs $2 to ship it, your product cost is $5. And then here you have your average profit per order, which is simply your average order value minus your product cost, gives you your average profit per order. All right, so to start off with, like if you've been running traffic before, if you have a store already up and running, you're going to know what your average order value is. You're going to know what your average product cost is and your average profit per order is. But let's say, just for the sake of this, that you're just starting out, you're brand new, you don't have a website set up yet, or you do have a website set up, but you don't have any sales yet. You're starting out, you need to know how to use this GPS system to start testing and scaling your ads. So what you're going to do then is, for your average order value, you're simply going to use the price of one product. Now, in reality, your average order value is probably going to be a little bit higher than that because people are going to have orders with multiple products in them. But for the sake of this, because whenever you're modeling finances, you always want to be conservative. So for the sake of this, you're just going to use the average order value, which is the revenue that you get from one product. And so for Skyline Workshops, I know that my average order value is $40. Because a beer cap map is about $35 and then it's about $6 shipping. In reality, my average order value is closer to $50, but for the sake of this and using round numbers, we'll go with $40. Now, you have your average order value. Now you need to put in your product cost. Again, this is the all-in cost of your product. So the cost of goods sold and the shipping. So for me, I know that my product cost is $10, right? So which leads me to an average profit per order of $30, okay? Now, this number right here, this is all that we care about. And if you follow this formula right here, you are guaranteed to be profitable. There's no way you can ever lose money with Facebook ads so long as your cost per purchase is less than your average profit per order. You will always make money. So if you make on average $30 for every order and you spend on average $15 for every order, that means that you're making $15 per order. Like, it's impossible. You will never lose money in this situation. And so the only thing that we are trying to do as marketers, as entrepreneurs, is to acquire a customer, is to pay less for a purchase than our average profit per order. So basically, we just need to keep this CPP less than this average profit per order. Now, if this was $30, it would mean we would break even. Obviously, we don't want to do that. And so for me, obviously I like to be profitable. So for me, I would set my max CPP that I'd be willing to tolerate at, $25, right? Now, I know, and this is industry standard, so if you're just starting out, again, this is going to be based on what your average profit per order is. If you're selling a high ticket item, it's going to be higher. If you're selling a low ticket item, it's going to be lower. But on the bright side, if you're selling a lower ticket item, it's not going to cost as much to acquire a customer because people are more willing to pay, for cheap things. Now, for your conversion percentage, again, if you have an e-com store, you're going to know this. Industry standard is generally around 40%. It sucks, but it's reality, which is why that retargeting and email marketing are so important, is to retarget all of your cart abandoners, because you're going to lose 60% of the people who add something to a cart. They're going to disappear unless you remarket to them. Which is why, the email follow-up sequences that we share in Attention Arbitrage University and the Facebook retargeting, the dynamic retargeting that we do is so important, and we see such an incredibly high ROI on that, which we go into more detail there. But for this, if you're just starting out, just use 40%. That's a solid benchmark. So that means if if you're willing to pay $25 per purchase, and only 40% of the people who add your product to their cart go on to purchase, that means that you're willing to pay at max $25 per purchase times 0.4 means you're willing to pay a maximum of $10 for someone to add your product to their cart. Okay. Whoops. $10 for someone to add your product to their cart. And you can view all of this data in Facebook. I'll go over that shortly. Now, this click-through rate is the link click-through rate, not the click-through rate all. This is in Facebook, the click-through rate link on your ad, which means the number of people who see your ad and actually click through on the link to go to your store. As a general baseline, a click-through rate of 1% is a solid baseline to use. If you have a click-through rate of less than that, then in most cases your ad is probably underperforming. You need to optimize it. And if you have a click-through rate of more than that, then obviously you're performing better and you can adjust your numbers accordingly. But for the purposes of this, our click-through rate is going to be at about $1. We're just going to benchmark that, which means that we can afford to pay a cost per click of $1 per click, which means if 100 people click at $1 per click and the cost per add to cart is at $10, then that means that 40% of those people are going to go on to purchase at $25, and we'll be within our KPIs. So let's take a look at what that looks like within our Facebook ads. And so you can see here that actually these numbers, let's go the last 2 weeks for some more data. And you can see that these numbers actually line up fairly close to that. So you can see here, $8.39 add to cart. These are actually performing better than my model, but $8.39 add to cart, $7.09 per add to cart on the retargeting. Clicks. So this is clicks all. This is anytime someone interacts with your ad. The click-through rate all is always going to be very high. This doesn't really matter. This is just for engagement purposes. The link click is what you care about, and the cost per click link is what you care about. And so you can see here that actually my cost per click links are actually higher than $1, but my click-through rate is also higher, which allows me to pay more per click. And so then again, you can see the cost per add to cart here, $8.39. And you can see now that this is the number of people who've added to my cart in the last 2 weeks. 368 people, and only 144 of them purchase, which leads me to a cost per purchase of $21.45. So we're still within KPI there. Now, this is interesting. Even though I'm paying almost twice as much for my cost per click here, remember, the only thing that matters is the cost per purchase. And this is one of my lowest cost per purchases, just retargeting people who have already been to my website. And this is why retargeting is so important. And so that's why you need to model this out so that as you're scaling, you know that you can hit your cost per click of $1. You can hit your cost per add to cart of $10, and you can hit your cost per purchase of $25. And you'll know that as you scale this, you're going to be profitable. But once you get this data and once you start to scale, then you can just only start looking at the cost per purchase. And so long as this cost per purchase is less than the average profit per order, none of these other things matter. And so that's why it's so important to, whenever you're analyzing numbers and understanding your KPIs, that's why it's so important to always understand what the bottom line is and always optimize for that bottom line, which is why you can never just take something at face value. You always need to dig as deeply as possible into the numbers to understand what's really going on. All right, so we understand our KPIs. Now we can just, rake in the money and and give it a fist bump, right? Not quite. So You understand your KPIs, you understand, what you need to look at to profitably scale. But the second mistake that I see most people making is audience targeting, and honestly just trying to outsmart their market. And here's the thing, you can't outsmart your market. Sorry about that, but the moral is you can't outsmart your market. I see all these people who spend all this time doing this super crazy in-depth market research and analysis and like deep diving and like going in, creeping on people's individual profiles and then hacking in and stealing their social security number and finding their license plate numbers, and it just gets ridiculous. At the end of the day, you have no idea who your target market is for a given product. What you need is a system in place to test repeatedly, to understand where you are so that you don't end up just getting lost and going in circles, but to test repeatedly at scale to find the winners for as cheap and as little money as possible, and then to scale those winners as quickly as possible. And so that's really the main mistake that I see people make as they try to find their audience targeting. They try to outsmart Facebook, and they try to outsmart their audience. And at the end of the day, you don't know who your audience is. You just have to test in a systematized way. You just have to test as many people as possible. And so instead of spending, 6 times as much time doing, audience research, you just need to be spending that same amount of time just testing more audiences. And just, keeping track of your results and scaling the wins from there. And mistake number 3 that I see most people make is campaign scaling. And look, there's more than one way to skin a cat when it comes to Facebook ads. And the reality of Facebook ads is that most ads, many target markets can't support budgets past, $100 per day, $1,000 per day. Many target markets are not, 2, 5, 10 million people strong. Maybe there's only 100,000 or 300,000 people in them. If that's the case, then you can't scale a market that size up to $1,000 a day. You're going to burn through that market, in a matter of a couple weeks or a month. And so that's part of the reason why when you try scaling a winning campaign by just, increasing the budget 100% every day, that's part of the reason why it just goes to hell in a handbasket, because the market can't support that volume of ad spend. And so what you need to do is you need to scale laterally. And that means you need to test different conversions, such as, you could have a winning ad set testing add to cart conversions. And once you get a decent number of purchases and that pixel gets seasoned a little bit, then you can test actual purchase conversions. You can test website click conversions. You can test page post engagements. There's all sorts of different conversions that you can test laterally. That basically the way that Facebook works is it will target a different segment of that same audience. And so you're able to reach more people in that way while still keeping your daily budget, at a reasonable level for that market. Additionally, you can, duplicate the ad set and segment out that market by, gender or location, region, income levels, additional interests, things like that. You can scale laterally. You don't just have to crank up the budget. There's different ways to scale that allows you to be successful even in very targeted markets. And so to wrap that all up, look, if you can understand this system and if you can be profitable with paid traffic in e-commerce, like I mentioned before, you'll never be broke. If you can understand paid traffic, you have one of the most in-demand skill sets in 2017 and beyond. And so you can use the success that you see from running paid traffic to your e-com store. You can use that to start your own consulting business. You can use that to start your own agency. You can use that to start your own e-commerce store, building your own products in-house and scaling it that way. You can use the skills that you learn building profitable paid traffic campaigns literally anywhere online. You will be in demand everywhere you go. And, if you are a beginner, you have a 9-to-5, you're looking to break out of that 9-to-5, this is the quickest way to do that. Start a dropshipping store, make enough money to support yourself. probably end up making more than your 9 to 5, frankly, if you're successful. And from there, then you just use that success and you just build up upon it. And that's really what we teach at Attention Arbitrage University is, first of all, how to set up a drop shipping store from scratch, how to, in your free time, in as little as a couple hours a week, how to generate that, $10,000 a week and beyond. This is actually something that I'm going to do from scratch here starting January 1 of 2017 is actually build the dropshipping site from scratch week by week, have a live transparent case study. You're welcome to stay tuned for that. Just stay subscribed to the email list. You'll get notifications of it, or join Attention Arbitrage University and you get a much more in-depth, detailed look at that very transparent live Q&As. I would recommend that you join that if that's something you're interested in. But this is something that we teach. We teach how to get that initial success with paid traffic in e-commerce, and then how to leverage that into something bigger and better moving forward that will set you up, for years and decades. So anyways, I hope you enjoy the presentation. This is literally the secret sauce and everything I did to generate $10,000 per week in 4 days with Facebook traffic. And this is how you can do it as well. If you're interested in learning more about this system, the actual nuts and bolts behind it, if you're interested in getting in touch with me personally, I highly recommend you join Attention Arbitrage University. Just go to attentionarbitrage.com/university or join the Facebook group, also called Attention Arbitrage. That's where I am every day. It's the easiest way to get in touch with me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it easy. Keep hustling.